Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. It's your girl Kizzy. Let me make sure I got on. Look, I be switching stuff up and just be doing stuff. Yep, yep, yep. All right. It's Tuesday. Y'all know what that means. I mean, I get on here and talk about something, but it's always something. Welcome back to another Conversations with Kizzy presented to you by no one other than Men A Minute LLC. I am your host, Kizzy, and it is November 19th, 2024, and we have a special guest tonight that we'll be bringing on to chat with us shortly. We always know what I do on the opening gig, just to give folks a few minutes to get here. Recap. Well, since the first week of the beginning of October, we know Chester comes on the first Tuesday of every month, but I have been heavily sedated with guests since the first week of October, and it was completely intentional. Last week we had a author showcase with Shakoya Johnson. I have yet to post her links, but I have them on my copy and paste them immediately after the show. I had just been so busy with y'all know what kinky lingerie. So I know y'all have seen, or maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't, I don't know. Some of the videos, the reels, the website, go shop. It's affordable and it's nice. So, so I've been inundated with that. So, and then of course we've had all many guests since October. We had the Queen of Controversy on. We erotic book review. We had oh my gosh, so many different folks. We had the round table, which I'm supposed to reschedule because it was the Tuesday before the hurricane and people were taking cover and moving around and securing stuff. So we got to reschedule that. Um, there will be another author showcase coming up soon. I like to read, so I always want to showcase the folks who create those stories, which I read. Even if I haven't read their book, they're doing it. But don't worry. Even if I hadn't read their book when I met them, I always make sure that I read it before or make sure that I get it and read it and post a review because I enjoy reading. Knowledge is power, even though I like to read about werewolves and stuff. It's completely okay. For those of you who partake, get up and get your cup. It's always a sip and chat. I only have one for the hour and then I'll be done for the night. I don't need to be walking around the house intoxicated on a Tuesday. I have a bunch of stuff to do this evening after I get off of the live. Tonight, our special guest is TLC Robinson. It is a Marion County Takeover. I keep telling folks I want to do collabs with people from home. I'm looking at my glasses, right, and I keep seeing it's not me up here. It's reflecting. I don't know what that is, but anyway, y'all know I need reading glasses these days. I'm not reading anything tonight. At least I don't think I am, because hey, I can see 100 miles away. But don't give me anything to read because I'm So I had to invest in some reading glasses, and they're not sitting right because of these headphones, and that's okay. Anyway, it's the Marion County Takeover tonight. I always want to collab with folks from the home team, so I am doing my very best to have those folks from Marion County, Florida, Ocala, Citra, Zuba, Reddick, Silver Spring Shores, Marion Oaks. If you got a business, holla at your girl. TLC Robinson has a podcast, and I'm excited to ask questions. I'd be excited. It's for my audience to hear, for my audiences to also tune in to his podcast, and a few other ideas that he's had roaming around and said that he just kind of shot at me real quick during our initial conversation. So I'm very interested to know about those things so that I can also help promote. Why? Because I'm from Marion County too. Okay. For those of you who are watching not near but far, Marion County is the county dead center in the state of Florida. It is the horse capital of the world, they say. John Travolta lives here where his has his airstrip. It's like 10, 20 minutes. It's like 12, 13 minutes down the road. But for those of you who don't know, but those of y'all in Marion County, y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know what it is. So I'm always excited to present someone to y'all. I don't care where they're from, but I am overly I'm over the moon because this is home team for me. I might not live in Ocala, but it's the same county. I live north of Ocala, you know? So I'm super excited to have Mr. Robinson come in and just, share what what he got going on. I don't know, and y'all know this is an unscripted show. My questions come in the heat of the moment, and I have a lot. There's a lot I want to know, so I think I'm gonna formulate those questions so I can get the information. So with no further ado, there's no point for us to keep this. I do believe he's live in his studio as well, and I think he's streaming this to his audience as well. So hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Kizzy. That's me. All right. So Mr. Robinson looks like he's ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to bring him in. So let's get to it. Let's do it. So let's go ahead and welcome to the stage TLC Robinson. Welcome, sir.
How you doing there, Mel?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Glad to be here tonight.
Welcome to Conversations with Kizzy, presented by Men Ain't Men. You, sir, have a lot that I want to know.
Okay,
So
okay.
TLC Robinson, we might as well just go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna get right into it. Um, quick question: are you from Marion County? Are you from Ocala?
Yes, ma'am. I'm born and raised in Marion County, right here in Ocala, Florida. Grew up out there in Buzzard Quarters in the mid 70s, early 80s, all that stuff like that. Graduated in 92 from Forest High School.
Okay, he went to Forest, y'all, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm a coat. North Side Pride. So most people, it's funny
Uh,
because yeah, most it's funny. Most people want because they don't know native Floridians. I'm a native Floridian too. I'm from Citra. I wasn't
mhm.
born in Citra. I was born at Shands, but
Oh, yeah.
when they brought me home, it was to Citra. So I'm a Floridian. I'm a Marion County native resident as well.
Hmm.
Good deal. So tell me, because I've already told him you have a podcast. I already told you you had some interesting ideas. So let's start with the podcast. So introduce your podcast.
My podcast is Talk Love Communication. That's where TLC come from. TLC for Talk Love Communication. Um, Podcast. I done 18 years in prison, and I had spinal surgery. And upon me going through my rehab, I spent the last year pretty much in rehab. In infirmary in prison. So about the last 3 months before I came home, I do my read my Bible, pray, and I fast. And things of that nature. I kept hearing the word podcast. So I'm like, what is a podcast? I've never heard that word in my life. I left the street in '03, never knew what it meant. You know, so I would ask people, "Hey man, what is a podcast?" They would try to explain it to me, but I couldn't comprehend it. Like I said, I've been gone 18 years at the time, so I come home, tell my family, "Hey, God told me to do a podcast." So they're like, "Well, that's good. Look on YouTube." I'm like, "Well, what is YouTube?" I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. So I try to do things. You're doing the right thing, going to see grandmother, visiting family members, but I wasn't podcasting. So I fall and I break my leg. And I laid up in that bed for
Oh
about
no.
6 months. And I said, well, Lord, if you allow me to walk again, I promise you I'm a podcast. And I talked to him straight up. I'm like, well, man, I mean, what I'm gonna name is I don't know none of this stuff. What's going on, man? How I'm gonna take care of my family, this, that, and another. So I set my pen beside my bed. And when I woke up in the morning, it said talk, love, communication. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what the name of the podcast. And I'm pushing forward ever since I could walk. I got up limping around. I've been limping ever since. And I've been podcasting ever since. And about 2 years ago now.
Well, congratulations on
Hmm.
the rebirth. And I can completely understand where you were
Okay.
about podcasting. So congratulations on the rebirth. And you said that, you know, I don't want no details, so I'm not gonna ask because what 18 years in prison, what's done is done. You rebirth, that's where we are. So
Hmm.
you said when is your 2-year anniversary or has it passed for your podcast?
my 3 year anniversary about 2 weeks ago. It was on the actually, yeah, it was on the 7th.
Three?
I was home. I came home this 3 year anniversary, but I didn't start podcasting the 2 years because I broke my leg and I had to rehab, and I had to,
Right.
to get up and get moving around.
So your
I
anniversary
do a
for
lot of
your
things.
podcast.
Yes.
What
I
when was
started.
that?
I officially started. My grandmother passed away. I was a caregiver for her. She had cancer, and I was trying to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, and I feel like when you're doing something, you want to do it the best of your ability. So sometimes procrastination and wanting to be a perfectionist will cause you to it'll stall you. You know what I'm saying? With things in life, you want it so perfect until you never get started. You understand what I'm saying? And
I
you know
do.
as well as I know with this podcasting, it's a 24-hour job if you allow it to be. you know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, so when was your first when was your first podcast?
I think it was May. It was March the 10th, I believe. That'll be
Yeah.
2000 and March the 10th, 2022, I believe it was.
You gotta mark these milestones because I was like, I'm trying to get it. Like, when did you start officially start? Do you not celebrate on like your 1 year and your 2 year? Do you have a special podcast? But I do. I, 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 I mean, I was just curious because I mean, I've caught portions of yours, but I was like, I wonder how long he's been doing this. I wonder does he do stuff that I do? Like, does he celebrate the landmarks of the anniversaries? I don't know. I was just curious. I
Yeah,
thought
what
maybe
I
I'm doing
do,
too much.
no, no, I understand, but my monumental day is the day I came home. See, that's the day I started
Okay.
my journey. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
count like on my page, everyone was sending me happy birthday things last week or whatever. But my birthday is in August, but TLC birthday is November the 7th, the day I came
Okay.
home. That's the day I started my journey.
Okay. We gonna sit. I like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the day that you aired, but the day that your journey started.
That's
So
right.
nice. That's important too, because some people always think that I I I know when my journey started. Mine started on accident. So I couldn't help but remember it because my goal was never to podcast or do any of that stuff. I made a
Hmm.
post went crazy. I went live and responded to the post. That's how I marked mine. Um,
Okay.
and it wasn't on purpose. And then I just kind of got it was like, you got to keep doing this. And I was like, okay. So I kept doing it. And that's kind of how we got here. I always like to take a moment to shout out the people who come in and chat with us. Instagram's Lil Duke, Ruben Knock, Popdoculus, and Natasha the Realtor. What's the topic tonight? It's the Marion County Takeover tonight with my fellow podcaster TLC Robinson, and we're learning more about his journey on podcasting and more like the topics that he may talk about and when he airs. So let's get back to it. Um, so I know you have different topics like I do because I talk about relationships. This podcast platform started with relationships, and I've talk about everything else. I do book reviews. I have TV people come on, radio personalities. So I don't even stick to relationships anymore. So
Right.
what about you? What type of topics do you showcase on your podcast?
I cover everything. I'm kind of my thing is communication. You know, I believe that all problems, circumstances, situations, no matter what it is in life, it can be resolved through the proper channels of communication, which a lot of people really don't know how to communicate properly. That's something that I didn't learn until a later point in my life. That's one of the things that, especially as men, we're taught to be tough, suck it up, stop crying, don't be worried, stop acting like a little girl, and all these things. So you internalize things and we don't communicate. A man will come home and cut the grass, wash the car, fix the motor, clean the gutters, do everything but go in the house and communicate with the wife. A lot of men won't
Yeah,
admit that, but that's the truth.
that's true.
So my job is to enlighten and educate the youth and people within the community, so they don't have to serve the 18 years that I served. I'm a man that never smoked a drug, never drunk a beer, never smoked a cigarette, never had a speeding ticket. But yet I wind up with 18 years in prison because I didn't know how to communicate. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to reach out to the community. Anybody that's positive, anybody that has something to go and have a story to tell, because you can learn from someone else's story. You don't have to go through those things if you just hear their story. So what I do is I interview people and I air their podcasts and I cut them up in reels and allow people to see their story and anything positive. Let them see that, hey, Lakeisha used to be in that situation, but look at her now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She used to be a caterpillar, but now she's a butterfly. You know what I mean? So the steps, it's stages, it's steps you have to take to get to there. It don't happen overnight. Everybody make mistakes, and you have to understand that yesterday is yesterday. Every choice, every second you're alive, you have a choice to make. And it's your decision to do what's right. So that's pretty much what I cover. I cover sports. I go out and I cover a lot of the youth sports, high school, little league, to reward the kids. We discipline them when they do wrong. So
Right.
let's reward them. So let's reward them for doing what's right. Getting off that couch, putting that tablet down. Even though we want them to be tuned in tonight now, we want y'all to put them tablets up and y'all tune in tonight to LaKelsey Dennison. That's right. It ain't many. Um,
That's right.
that's right.
We got some shout outs. So just now, look, I have to look at the comments from like 3 different places. Um,
Uh-huh.
of course, Mrs. Robinson is in the building. Of course, she is in the building. Hey, Gail, I know she's in the building. Mama, how are you? Crystal
Yeah.
Carr is in here. She agreed wholeheartedly what you said about communication. She said agreed, and then she said that. Lonnie Bennett just wants to say show up, Big Pete. So I always want to acknowledge the comments and display them as we go through it. Um, so I think that is a very inspirational story in itself to go through
Mm-hmm.
something and to have a rebirth and be able to put yourself in a position to be an example. I think that is extremely amazing, and I applaud you for that. And I know that you
Yes,
do some
ma'am.
inspirational things because I've caught a few episodes in past, and like I said, I haven't had a chance to catch the whole one because I'm gonna have to go and favorite your page because if it my algorithm, I don't see any local people stuff, and I don't know what to
Right.
do. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
right. So if I see it 4 days later. So if anybody else is wondering how you can make things show up in your feed on a regular basis, you actually have to go not just follow, but favorite the page, and it'll show up. So I got to make sure I go do that because I've caught bits and pieces. I've caught in a sports segment a couple of times. I don't know why the sports segment keeps coming up. I guess because I post about football all the time. But the
Yeah.
sports
Yeah.
segment,
It ain't happen
sports,
like that.
yeah, the sports segments will show up when you do them. So I love the fact, which is probably why I started to expand on what I talk about because I can talk about relationships till I'm blue in the face, but I do think communication, and I've spoken on this multiple times, be- a lot of men really don't know how to communicate. And a lot of women might not know, but a lot of men are taught the exact thing that you said, y'all internalize. So you don't really deal with it
Mm-hmm.
outwardly, you deal with it inwardly. And then sometimes we explode, sometimes we walk away, sometimes we get lost and caught up, and sometimes we get stagnant. But
And
I pre
also,
go ahead.
I would like to interject that a lot of times, I'm big on family. I'm big on, especially within our community. There's so many broken homes, and to the ladies in your audience, when your spouse or your significant other do open up to you, when he do tell you his weaknesses and tell you the things that he's thought thinking and what he's dealing with, the worst thing you could ever do is bring that back up to him in an argument or to win a simple argument. You may win that argument, but you're gonna lose that man forever. Whether he stay there or not, he'll never trust you again. You know what I mean? So that's very important to be considerate, and I commend women because women take a lot, you know, and the things that men do to women, men can't take it if women do it back to them. And I
They can't.
understand that that is a true statement, but we can't. Women are emotionally way stronger than men. Um, But at the same time, the roles, the way the world is now, everything is switching, and we don't know what's what. And I'm a little old school. I stick to
Basics.
the hey.
Right. That's right. And I'm old school too. I feel the exact same way. You get no rebuttal out of me on that. And things are switching, roles are switching, ideas are becoming diluted, which is why I always give a disclaimer when I speak on relationships that I'm speaking on a relationship between a man and a woman because that's the only perspective that I know. So I stick to it. Um, I find it interesting. I love the diversity in your lineup. And I don't talk sports, but I do talk about a whole lot of other stuff. And the more that I do this,
Hmm.
I just had my 2-year anniversary in September. The more that I do this, the more I find myself
Okay,
venturing out.
congratulations.
Thank you. I get a lot of stuff inspired off from my podcast. So, what type of things have your podcast opened doors to
A
for you?
lot of things. It touches me too. If you notice behind me, it say "Get it off your chest." Um, like tonight, I normally go live tonight on Tuesday nights, and I have a show called "Get It Off Your Chest," where the community will call in and get it off their chest. The things that's bothering them, the things they worried about. There's no need to stress, have high blood pressure, and no matter what it is, if you went fishing, ain't catch no fish, your team lost this weekend, the grandchildren didn't come over, or whatever, the dog bit the cat, whatever it is, call in and get it off your chest. And I think it's just a stress reliever to people to have some place to vent. You know, um, you'll be surprised at things people call in. I remember a young lady called in and say that she feel as though light skinned women think that they look better than their brown or darker counterparts. And
Ah,
say men treat them like that. And that was a topic. And
yeah.
and I woke up that morning and I'm thinking to myself, I kind of like the red bone too. You understand what I'm saying?
You know
I mean,
what? I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm like, wifey is a red bone.
wifey is a red bone, and she redder than the red. She's the light bright.
Don't I call my friend no light bright. She a red bone.
Yeah, yeah. But and you ask yourself why.
Right.
If she would have had a twin sister and her and the twin brown skin, I would have picked her. And that's crazy. Why? Why do we have these
You want
these biases, you know?
I'm gonna tell y'all something that people really don't even consider. Most men are colorblind, so they don't even see they just see shades. So that shade might just be more appealing to them. Most men are
Shade.
colorblind. Yeah.
We see shades and shapes, huh?
Yeah, and I ain't even being funny. It's go check the stats, y'all. Most men are colorblind. They can see color, but it might not necessarily be the right color. Or a lot of times they just see shades, which is why when y'all see people these videos rolling on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok when they are giving those color fixed glasses, it's always to a dude.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in certain stereotypes are true. For men,
Yeah.
women, and different type of races, certain stereotypes are true.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
are, but ladies, don't take it personal. He might not like the shade you appear in his appearance. Okay? So
I ain't saying that out. I'm a married man now, but that doesn't mean that it's beautiful women in all
yeah.
shades. It's just my wife just happened to be light skinned, so that's what I love. You know what I mean? So that's
Eyes.
what it is.
Brown skin girl. You are amazing. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. Who cares about them light skinned girls? They gon' burn in the sun. Don't even worry about it.
They gotta get that suntan out, that
They
sun
gonna
lotion,
get
huh?
right. They gonna just don't worry about it. I'm around. Just don't worry about it. Love yourself. When you start worried about a male preference. Find a different type of man. Maybe it's the type of man that you're going after. Oh, I got a type. Don't have a type because your type is written down somewhere or in your mind.
But I also want to make the statement that that's ignorance. That's a young man's mind state. You know,
Hmm.
um, for a man to say, I like red women, I like this woman, that woman. Cause love hard to find. And
Very.
I remember a guy said to me, man, I love who love me. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
I love who
And
love
that's
me. I didn't say that before.
and we understand the power of that statement, man. Because a lot of time what you want ain't really what you're getting. But when you got somebody that love you for you, that's a special thing.
It's a
You
very
know.
special thing. Very special. I talk about when I have the live sipping chats, the whole principle about that is that list that we make up about our must haves in a person and how unrealistic it is. And by following a list that you've made up in your head about what you gotta have versus what you won't have, and sometimes they be the smallest things. It's not a realistic list. That's the list you made up in your head. So you can't live by
Hmm.
that list. And that slows down your process of finding love because you living off of an unrealistic list. If you got a list of all these good things for this person to have, you have to be able to accept the bad things, at least some of the bad things that you're not going to like about the person. Like maybe they smack when they eat. That can't
Yeah.
be a deal breaker. That can't be a deal breaker. I mean,
You
I
know,
can't.
uh, one of my daughters, I'm not gonna say, I got a daughter and she's kind of preppy, right? And she
Oh,
called me and she said, Dad, I can't be with him anymore. I said, what's wrong, baby? She said he washed his hands in the kitchen sink. I can't believe he washed his hands in the kitchen sink. And to her, it's over. She said, I can't be with a man that wash his hands in the kitchen sink. I'm like, baby, you got to teach her. What I mean? You have to, I tell my daughters, baby, if you love him, you have to train a man to be your man. You know what I'm saying? You have to mold him to be your man. You know what I'm saying? Mold him if you love him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
But I mean, he washed his hands in the kitchen sink. Now, if he came out the bathroom and washed his hands in the kitchen sink, I'd have a problem with that. You were in the bathroom.
see,
Why you didn't wash your
see,
hands in the bathroom? But if you just,
see, see, the
I don't
difference
know.
is, see, you grew up in Central, I grew up above the quarter, so we see that one way. She grew, she grew up in Jacksonville, and I don't know what she had going on,
Yeah,
hey,
that can't be a deal breaker, mama. If you're doing everything else and that's one thing, you gotta put that on the okay, I'll deal with this too list. Yeah, sometimes they just be I guess I'm gonna use your word, preppy, or egotistical or whatever the case may be. It's just be like, okay, you don't live in the real world, do you? The man washed his hands. Be grateful for that. He didn't even have to wash
yeah,
them.
and a man just thinks different. Me raising daughters taught me a lot about a woman because
Hmm.
a little girl mind thinks different than a little boy mind. I mean, it's
Hmm.
just y'all just
It's
see
different.
things different.
Hmm.
It's just a different. Y'all view the world as different. It's different. And women have strengths and men have strengths. That's the reason why the two shall become one. It's a lot of things my wife do better than me. I don't. Yeah, I can't tell her that. I hope she ain't listening right now. But
She
you know,
listening.
uh, but and it's no. I have no problem with relinquishing that to her strengths at this age, at this point in my life. But that was a point, when we young, man. Men are women are more mature. That's why women a lot of time date a little older man, a man that's a little older because women
Yeah.
mature a lot faster than boys. We got a lot of 30 something year olds to play football all day on the Xbox. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah. And not just we got some 40-year-olds that's out there doing stuff that they probably should have given up a long time ago too. But hey, live your life. Hey, Kimmy Flight. I'm just giving folks shout out. Oh, I put that message up there for you. Is that's for you. It says definitely listening.
mm,
That's your wife. She just want I'm like, yeah, she
yeah,
listening.
yeah. Oh,
Um
she
she yeah, her message she says definitely listening. Um when we spoke on the phone, you had mentioned that you had some ideas that you were thinking about doing
Hmm.
locally. You
Yes,
you
ma'am.
this is the time ignite the ideas in others. So,
Okay, okay.
w-
Oh,
what type of
one of the
things were you talking about?
main, well, the next thing I'm gonna jump off is it's called TLC Family and Fun. Like I said, I'm all about family, so we're gonna have Jeopardy. So a Jeopardy game, I create all the categories. You know, it may be the 70s sitcom, the 80s sitcom. I'm talking about the Jefferson, Sanford and Son, the
Hmm.
Cosby Show, In the Heat of the Night, and we'll have questions. You know, it may be Name That Jam. You know, it may be R&B music. So it'll be different topics. All the boards created by me, and you know, you would come in. You know, we'll be teammates. It'll be two people per team, so it may be a mom and a daughter against a father and a son or whatever, and you would play Jeopardy and you would compete against each other. I also thought about doing it online. You know, maybe where because as you know, it's hard with the donation. Y'all look out for my girl tonight. Now, y'all hit them stars, send us some stars, do the right thing. You know what I mean? It take a lot of time to put into this. Show her you appreciate her. Send them stars, man. Show us some love tonight. You know, that's a way to kind of do a little raise and a little, everything help. And don't think sometimes when we have these platforms, don't think, well, I ain't gonna send her them $5. I ain't gonna send her them $10. Send it, man. All that add up. You know what I mean? It's 20 of y'all say the same thing. That's $100. That go a long way, don't it, Kels?
It do, it do, it do.
You
It's
better
funny
believe it.
because it's funny because I get them, but I never ask for them like during the show. Um,
Uh-huh.
it's just a little message that's out there. I'll be like, I don't do this. I mean, I get bonuses. I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm a content creator for Facebook. But,
Hmm.
I don't really ask people, "Hey, donate during the show." Even though all this signage that y'all see, all this streaming that y'all see, none of that stuff is free.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the sipping you're doing, the sipping costs.
The sipping costs. These glasses cost. This headphone ain't cost me nothing. I ain't gonna lie. One of these companies sent me one too many, and I just kept one. They always send me
But you know,
equipment.
the Jeopardy game, it's that's something that I want to do and get the family. So that's gonna be I'm gonna really try to kick that off before Thanksgiving here. So that's something
Okay.
we really, really want to do. It take a lot of time to make those boards though. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm kind of stockpiling the boards. And you gonna,
Um,
we're gonna
why don't you just let AI do it? AI will create a Jeopardy game for you, and you don't have to do all of that. But you can't edit it to your liking.
but as far as well, I haven't worked with AI a lot, but at the same time, I want to know that I want to kind of I want to know the answer to them too. You
Well,
understand what
see
I'm
what
saying?
what it is you can have it create the basics for you. It just kind of saves you some time, and then you can edit and tailor it to your liking, to the questions that you want. It'll just save you the time of like formatting and all that type of stuff. It'll give you a
Okay.
baseline to go through. Willie Robinson says, "How can you send money?" In the comment section, there's a little star. Hit the star, and you can send stars. That dude, Strict Nine Rod, says, "What it do, cuz?" Look,
What's
I,
up,
I
cuz?
so there's Willie's question. What it do? That dude, Strict Nine Rod. I don't know who. I don't. Hey y'all.
Yeah, that's my cuz. That's some of TLC land coming over, showing you a little love.
All right, TLC land. Welcome to the building. Welcome to the show. I'm being good tonight. My Tuesdays be a mess, but I like to showcase other people that isn't
Mhm.
me, and I really have been trying very hard to get folks from home team to come on. And so when I saw his post, I was like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to do this collab for a minute. I just been so inundated with other stuff. So welcome into the room. Hello, Miss Denmark. Hey girl, hey. And I see stuff, but I don't see stuff. So they might be just leaving emojis. So welcome, y'all. Welcome to my platform. I'm over here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Conversations with Kizzy, presented by
So,
Men
so,
Ain't
so,
Men. And I
Miss
need to get
Dennison,
this. Go ahead.
um, do you know Lashonda Denmark?
I don't know, Nisha. We know Lashonda Denmark. I'm asking
She's
my cousin.
she's from out- she's from out y'all way, North Marion way.
Probably,
Uh,
but
I think
she's
she married a
probably
Denmark, but I
okay.
just done it. Yeah, she's a nurse. I
Okay,
just interviewed her, so this is her week. So I've been kind of pushing her this week here. I
that's
just seen
probably
the Denmark pop up there.
yeah. That's probably my cousin's wife. I think I know who you're talking about.
Hmm.
Let me give this disclaimer to the TLC land folks that's coming on. Yeah, Men Ain't Menin owns this podcast. Yes, there's a red flag. Yes, it says Men Ain't Menin, but nobody is safe on this show. Not even me. I if someone sends me a story where a woman is doing something that I completely disagree with, I'm gonna talk about her. Yeah, Nisha Lashonda. So I think that's her sister-in-law. Anyway,
Okay, okay.
anyway, so nobody's safe. I don't just talk about men because I know that it ain't all of you. I even have a hero hatline promoting men that are meaning. Y'all can go get that at kizzyscollections.com. So I know this is where it started, but I also have experienced and know men who I think are meaning. And it's the bare minimum. It's just that this new age pimping that y'all got going on really don't make a whole lot of sense to me. So TLC land, I don't take sides. If I do something crazy, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. My audience hears about it. I might laugh through the entire thing and I know that I'm dead wrong, but I feel I still share it because I'm not perfect. I want you to know that I might get on here and talk about these dudes, but guess what I did? So just want to give y'all that little disclaimer. All right, so family and fun, you want to try to get that started before Thanksgiving. Um, is it for family and fun, but is it for all ages? Because some kids might not know what happened on the Cosby Show. So what about the young folks? What you gonna have in it for them?
Well, for the young folks, if I will, like if I know I got young guests, if it's a younger crowd want to come, like I say, I get to create the boards. So I would set the boards more tailored toward my audience, whoever the guest may be. If I know I got two 15, 16-year-olds coming in, or four 16-year-old, I know to tailor the boards to their, to their generation, so to speak. Most of my audience is mature. I have most of 35 to 54 audience,
Yeah,
and the kid, right? So I kind of tailor toward them, but I can tell it toward anybody. I'm open
and
to anybody.
the reason why I ask is because if it's family and fun, family means they may have kids.
That's right.
So
That's right,
you want to
ma'am.
make sure that when you organize an event, you have something that those who have kids can actually come and enjoy the night. That's the only reason why I asked.
And
Because it's
that's
like, ooh, family and fun. But dang, this is all grown up stuff. So make sure you got some, maybe a bounce house out the door or something. I don't know.
well, I don't know. It's up here. My building here is up here on for 40, so it's like a studio. It's not at home, so it's something. It's a little space. The kids come, but like I say, I have a little table here, and
Hmm.
it's so it'll be. I run a 3 camera setup, so it'll be the switching of the camera. It's gonna be pretty nice, man. It's gonna be really nice. You can't tell the difference, like a real Jeopardy game. Um,
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Also, I want to bring up. Sometime my wife asks me, I got friends from prison that call me,
Hmm.
and she may sometime when I hang up, she always asks me, baby, why you look like that when you hang up the phone with them? Because the moment I forget where they're at is the moment you can end up back there. So I'm gonna have something where the inmates call me and I record the phone call for the public and I play it back. So I'm gonna receive the collect phone calls, play it back. You got some inmates in there, parents
Hmm.
out here struggling, what I'm saying, haven't talked to
Hmm.
their grandmother in 5 years, you know what I'm saying? So they give them the opportunity to give their story, let these kids know that these mistakes are being made. These people locking you up, man.
Right.
They giving out 20, 30 years, but see, they don't think it's real until it happened
Right.
because
This,
daddy and
yeah.
mama always save you. See, don't nobody want to hold these kids accountable. We gonna
Yeah.
if mom and daddy don't want to hold you accountable, the justice system will.
They will. They will. And it's like a new wave of entitlement with these younger folks.
Hmm.
They don't think. I watched a video I do believe today, earlier today was a video where
Mhm.
this 19-year-old, I believe, young black male was basically harassing, stalking this young lady. And when the police showed up, he was like, "Yeah, you can't arrest me. I'm just here." He didn't realize that these people could and did arrest him from some sense of
Yep.
entitlement. And I'm like, you're not invincible. These laws apply to you. Unfortunately, in the economy that we're living in, we're getting bad examples of that in the politica arena, which is also inciting, oh, if he can do this and he can do that, then oh, I can do it. It doesn't change the written law. It still applies. So they got to pay attention to what those laws are. They don't educate themselves. That dude Strict Down Rod says real talk, cuz.
Yeah,
And that's
straight
what's up.
up,
I
you
think
know.
that's a nice thing to do. Depending on, what questions you present to them, the stories that they tell. And even if they just, they haven't talked to somebody in 5 years, it could be as simple as a little message embedded, "Hey grandma, hey ma," in those
Yeah.
phone call recordings. So that sounds interesting. What else you got on the table over there at TLC?
I have something for the young men that know how to play chess. It's called Chess Talk.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, we would play a game of chess or checkers or dominoes or whatever. But chess is my thing. And so
It'll be mine.
basically, it's just I would. You know how to play chess?
Chess is a critical thinking game.
Do
So
you know how to
I I
play chess?
I do know how to play chess.
Okay, so I'm giving you an open. I'm giving you an open invitation right now.
Don't give me no open invitation. My schedule is so busy. I just launched another company, what, 11 days ago. I'm so inundated. Look, I meant to send you the flyer last week. So my apologies. I'm sorry,
It's
y'all,
all
that y'all
right.
just got it today. I just launched another company uh, 11 days ago, and I'm knee deep in lingerie. So, but that's
But
okay.
with the chess talk, like you say, chess is a strategy game. See, I'm a thinker, so we want to as we play chess, I'm a podcast them, but at the same time, we're gonna play chess. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's multitasking. You know what I'm saying? And most chess players are thinkers. You have to have a certain type of thought pattern to play chess at a decent level. And with that
Right.
being said, I'm interested to know how do he apply this game to life? Because people call chess the game of life.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of. I think that's very important to teach your kids how to play chess. And later on in life, you can use chess as a parable when they navigate through trouble, when they have situations in their life they can kind of navigate through. You agree with that, Mel?
I do. I do. They do say that chess is a game of life and it is a strategy game. It requires critical thinking. Instead of having an issue and not knowing what to do, learning how to play chess does teach you critical thinking skills, how to think through a process. What do you do next? Foreseeing what happens next, or the possibilities of what can happen next. So, chess is a
Hmm.
great game to learn. I am a very deep critical thinker, and I learned how to play chess a very, very long time ago. I haven't played in a while, so I'm gonna have to brush up on my skills, but my brain is still like it is, so I feel like I'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. So I appreciate this opportunity. Me being a podcaster, it's only right if I have a couple questions.
Okay, go for it. I was gonna come on your show and let you ask me questions, but all right, let's have it.
I could just hit you with one or two. You say you got more companies. Why lingerie, ma'am?
Somebody presented the idea to me back in April, and I actually love lingerie, but everybody doesn't or aren't supposed to know how much a person or how much lingerie a person has. And I had a conversation with somebody and they presented lingerie to me, and I felt like, okay, this would be nice to do for the ladies because I do have a hero hat line that is for men. And in my mind, you got this hero headline, you doing your thing, so she needs to reward you with some lingerie. So it was just, and I love lingerie. I always have. So when opportunity was say, hey, you should do this, I gave it some thought and I just put it in motion and dropped it.
Well, I hope it do pretty good. Like you say, you just getting it good. So by the time February get around here, y'all got to holler at her. You know what I mean?
Right. Because
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, yeah, it's coming. I make sure to remind the ladies in October. It falls on a different day about the sweetest day, and that is the male Valentine's Day. So, ladies, make sure y'all put that on your calendar. It's not celebrated all around the US. I feel like it should be, but it's called the sweetest day and is the male version of Valentine's Day. It it ain't like you can't take that man out on a date. If he doing right by you, do right by him. That's all I'm saying. That dude Strict Nine had another comment. It starts out here on the street. A lot of us forgot how to be big brothers out here to try and keep these young men out of trouble instead of drawing them into trouble. I want. I agree with that 1000%. Instead of being, they wanted to be like when I tell people all the time, you either gonna be a parent or you gonna be a friend. Yeah, it's the same scenario. Either you're gonna be a big brother for real, which is really gonna stir them in the right direction, or you're gonna be a cosigner. You're gonna be a cheerleader and let them draw them,
That's
just
right.
hey, encourage them to go get into trouble. So speaking of all of these great things, along with the lingerie company that I launched, I'm setting up a mentorship program. And of course I set it up initially with the model ambassadors because I wanted to showcase all different sizes of women. I don't want to just sell lingerie to small women, even though I'm a small woman. That just doesn't make any logical sense to me. So I started writing out a mentorship program that I want my ladies to use, but I was like, I'm gonna have to open this up to the public. So I just haven't released it yet. The form, if you want to be a mentor, you fill out you fill out the form, you select mentor, and we get your information. If you need a mentor and you want to be a mentee, you fill out the form, select mentee, and it's just a different set of questions. And we try to pair you with someone that, let's say you want to be you need a mentor because you want to start a business. Well, let's say I have someone here in business that has started a business, and we kind of pair them together to kind of help them through that walk and just kind of lead them in the right way. And then of course to have other conversations as they occur, just to have like somebody they can go to if they're not comfortable going to somebody else. So that's in the play. So I love that you want to put something together to help inspire. So maybe we can collab on that in the future because I'm still building out this mentorship program. Y'all, I ain't even charging. There's no fee for this. There's no fee. There's no fee for it. If you need somebody that has agreed to be a mentor and meets the qualifications, they're gonna be available to talk to you for free. There's no fee for this. I hear myself in his mic, y'all.
Yeah, my
So
bad. I was just
it's okay. I do that all the time during my show. Hear my own self talk. That's a normal thing for podcasters, I think. But yeah, because I mean, I always want to share information. I always want to uplift. I always try to inspire, which is why I said inclusivity, empowerment with the lingerie company. And I was like, this doesn't have to be something that I have to keep internal. This is something that I can just open up to people because people might just need somebody to talk to. If you need a pastor to link up with, hopefully some pastors sign up to be a mentor. So you might just need a spiritual guide. You might be struggling with something spiritual and you need that. You might need someone who has been a single mother and has accomplished great things and you're a new single mother. So I want all those options to be available with the Kinky Lingerie mentorship program. I don't want it just to be about business because people need people, whether they know it or not. And sometimes your best adversary is someone you don't know. So yeah.
that's right. Another thing I have going is I do skits also.
Mm,
So what I try to do is I try to do skits with real life situations, real life. Not this. It's easy to chase numbers and you do something silly and make people laugh, ha ha ha. But
right.
one thing I I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, I never want to chase numbers. You understand what I'm saying? I've always been, people that know me, I could be a trendsetter, I could be the firecracker in the room, I could be anything I need to be. But I don't want to do anything to chase numbers because I think society within itself paint us, our people, in such a bad way anyway. So I don't want to use my platform to make us look no worse than how they already trying to do. I
Right.
want to show them black. I want to show them black excellence, and not only black
Hmm.
excellence, just from
Excellence.
anyone, just positive,
Right.
just positivity. And so I would do skits about real life situations. So in my mind, if you see my skit, let's say it's a skit where you go on a job and your boss man is antagonizing you. So and you get mad one day and you act out. You put hands on this boss man or you
Oof.
shove him or whatever you do. So now you go to jail, you lose your job, you got to go home to your wife and your kids. You got to tell your wife and your kids you don't have a job because you couldn't take this man poking at you. You
Or
understand what
or
I'm
you
saying?
gotta or you gotta call him to come keep bond you out because he gonna call the police and you going to jail. So
And
not only
and
did you lose your job, you also went to jail and caught a charge.
so basically it's who's right, who's wrong. So let's say in that situation, now let's say he come home with that and then the wife fussing. She's fussing. You can't tell me da, 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 da. She fuss. So all of a sudden, who's right, who's wrong?
Mhm.
So let's say you watch that skit, and all of a sudden a month down the road, you in that same situation. Now it's like you had a second chance.
Right.
See, a lot of times
It's like
we as a
deja vu
people,
almost.
right, we are impulsive. We act spur of the moment. We're not premeditated. We do it right then. We mad. We act out, and
Mhm.
that what happened to me, acting out at the spur of the moment. So if I had a second chance, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So when you watch that skit, it's like deja vu, like you said. So that's
Yeah.
my goal. So anybody in the community, got a little acting skills, or if you think you want to be an actor, it really don't take all that to do it. All I need you to do is respond the way you really would in real life.
Right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming to the show. Um, I always tell people when someone comes to my show, it started out being a 15-minute showcase, and then I was just like, it went to 20 minutes, and then it went to, okay, we gonna talk as long as
Uh,
they want to.
uh-huh.
Because I was like, if it takes the whole hour, then it takes the whole hour. I am never mad about that. And as another podcaster, I knew that this would be a good show. So I do want to thank you. We had like 2 minutes left
Yes,
of
ma'am.
talk
Yes,
time
ma'am.
for you. So tell the people how to find you.
TLC Talk Love Communication. So you got TLC Robinson on Facebook and Instagram, Talk Love Communication on TikTok and YouTube. You go to my page, we got a QR code. You can scan that. That'll give you opportunity to follow me on each and every platform. Once again, TLC Robinson on Facebook and Instagram, Talk Love Communication, TikTok, YouTube.
All right, so y'all stay tuned because whatever he gets his scheduled family nights information and send it to me, post it or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna make sure that I share it. So Marion County, make sure y'all show up. We trying to bring some, positive things to the area because I only wanted to use model ambassadors that were local to the area. I didn't want to use people that were outside of the local area. So I tried to make sure that I found people that were at least in a 45-minute driving distance of Central Florida. I wanted to make sure that I did that because I wanted to bring, I just wanted to use local folks. Thank you so much, Mr. Robinson. I appreciate you coming in. TLC Robinson. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all tune in for to get it off your chest. You might have something you want to tell
That's
them,
right.
tell the people that done bothered
Get
you.
it off the chest.
So congratulations to you both. Keep up, keep both of you, good stuff. Keep it up. Thank you, Dad Dude Strict 9 Rob, for tuning in to my podcast tonight. Hit that follow button so you can catch us every Tuesday. Sometimes we act up. I just want you to know. I
Yeah.
just want you to know. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Whenever you want me to pop in over there, let me know. Anytime there's something new that's popping, you can pop in over here and share it. I'm all for it because this is hometown. This is Marion County Takeover. Thank
Okay.
you.
I got one more thing to say to you, ma'am. One more thing to say to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Have anybody told you they love you today?
Today, I think so, but I'm
Well, I
not
tell,
sure.
well, I tell you what, on behalf of TLC Talk Love Communication, William Robinson loves you, Mel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate and receive that in such a positive light. Thank you for coming
All
on.
righty. Yes,
I'm gonna
ma'am.
move you
All righty.
backstage. Stay backstage. I want to make sure your recording uploads all the way. I'll see you in 5 if you're
Okay.
still there.
All righty.
I'll
All righty.
tell you when it's done. But I'm gonna move you backstage. Thank you so much for coming in. Another great episode of Conversations with Kizzy presented by Men A Minute. Y'all know I always enjoy the time when somebody comes in the show when I can talk to somebody else. It's great to have y'all. Y'all keep seeing this cutout. It's from the Kinky Lingerie thingamajiggy. I was playing around on the cricket. Anyway, that was exciting. I really, really enjoyed that. Y'all know I always enjoy when folks come on. Again, that was TLC Robinson. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. He has some interesting stuff going on over on his podcast. I catch episodes when it be the sports ones, and I like sports. And when it's football, I tune in as long as I possibly can. But I'm always some days late, so I can't tune in live because it runs on. Get it off your chest runs on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Once I get off here, y'all, I go eat, take a bath, all kind of stuff because my night is over. But I'm gonna try to remember to watch. If I don't know if he's doing it tonight or not, but I'll definitely try to watch next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the week of Thanksgiving. I will not be in the studio. I won't be here. I think it's the week. Is it next week, y'all? Classic is this weekend. So yeah, on the 26th there is no show. I'll put a flyer out to remind y'all that I won't be on here. So don't send me no inboxes about where you at and what you're doing. I'll see y'all on December the 3rd, first Tuesday of the month, with Chester Moore from Peace on the Streets, Prince of the South. That's when I'll see y'all. Y'all stay tuned. I'm continuously posting about kinky lingerie. I did an unboxing today. If you didn't catch it, go watch it. It was a video. I wasn't live. I just pre-recorded it. Tell me what y'all think of the song in the background. That's my kinky lingerie song. Yes, it is mine. I showcased it last week during the show. I'm gonna drop the rap on y'all at some point. I don't know what y'all gonna do when the rap come out. But y'all know what I always say. I know it's not quite 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the show early because I can and can't nobody stop me. Y'all know what I always say. Be good or be good at it. But don't get caught. Love and light.